How you doing? This is Dominique Easley from Staten Island, New York. First round draft pick, Super Bowl champion to the New England Patriots. And you're checking out Scoop B Radio.
Scoopy Radio in your airwaves, on the plane, on the train, everywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, scoopyradio.net, the only place where you can get all of the interviews, all the hits, anywhere from Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers to Shaquille O'Neal to the voice of Siri, DJ Khaled, Mark Cuban. And today we got my main man, Pots and Pans, Dominique Easley, joining us. Brother, what's going on?
Appreciate you for having me. How's everything?
Man, everything's good. Making it happen. And I'm finding out we got all these mutual people in common in New York City and above.
Yep, that's a fact. Small world, small world.
Too small. That's why you got to treat people right.
Exactly. You heard?
Super Bowl champion, a mental health advocate, and just an overall good brother. You were a New England Patriot darling, being drafted by them years ago. What do you remember about those days?
So interesting enough, on my draft day, I was actually in New York, but I didn't pick up the phone. An old friend of mine, she had picked up the phone because I really didn't want to go to the Patriots because I understood how their culture was, which wasn't a bad culture, but I just knew it wasn't going to fit mine. So I was looking to go to the Seahawks, but they wound up trading out. So that experience alone was a little different than everybody else's, what you would normally hear. Being there, obviously, it was a winning team. Definitely had some ups and some downs during my time there. I say credit to myself. I wouldn't say credit, but more so it was me that was doing the damaging part to my own self. Uh, so had to, find myself and understand what I was going through, what I needed in life, and kind of started the road to who I am today. By the time I left up out of there, which was 2 years later.
Tell me more about that.
So when I was there, Patriots, they have a culture where it's nothing but football. I didn't grow up playing football. I started playing football in high school, and it was only because my older brother played football. Never really loved it. Never really fell in love with the game. I fell in love with competition. So being there was really kind of put me in a dark place, along with everything that was going on with my insecurities of my success being I was kind of the first one to actually be active and be active back home in the community and also be in the NFL and the first one to be a first round draft pick from Staten Island. So had a lot of people starting to act different. So I was also trying to work through that by myself, which wasn't a good idea. And
Mm.
being there really didn't help. At that time, I also converted to be a Muslim. Because I was, like I said, I was trying to find myself. I don't practice that much. I do still practice some of the ways, but I don't believe in all the ways. So being there was really uh, kind of a flash of, like I said, my path to being who I am today.
I like it. I like it. Um, People talk about the Patriots way. They talk about Belichick. They talk about Tom Brady. Um, I'm curious, despite the fact that maybe things didn't go the way you may have wanted it, what were your interactions with Bill Belichick like?
He was actually a funny guy. He was a funny guy when team meetings. He held everybody to the same standard, even number 12. Um, and he was I won't say he wasn't a bad guy. He had his own ways. Everybody else has their own ways. And I'll say my experience wasn't too comforting because of my own being. I had to figure, like I said, I was like 21 at the time. The 21-year-old kid just came onto some money that I'd never seen. Not that that had played a part, but it put trust, distrust in a lot of people and put a big wall up for me. So I did a lot of self-damaging things when I was at the Patriots.
You said he was funny.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a funny story?
Um, I don't so every team meeting he just had funny. I won't say he was dry humor, more or less. He was dry humor.
Sure.
I can't sit here and say he was funny like that, but he was dry humor. He wasn't what the media put out. Every time we had team meetings, he would make jokes. He would get on somebody. I'm not sure if you've seen that roast from Tom Brady.
Yes, I did.
So that thing where Julian was talking about the going back to the what was it Foxborough High School, saying that they was the best, that they better than us and stuff like saying little dry humor stuff like that. He always those jokes out. He wasn't as serious as the media made him out to be.
I'm a basketball guy, but I get along with football players for whatever reason. Um, I
I'm
know
a
a lot of
basketball
times,
guy.
particularly towards the end of Tom Brady's career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, there were a lot of LeBron James comparisons being thrown left and right. You didn't play football until you were in high school, but I'm being from New York. I'm sure you're around a lot of basketball players, and you can easily dissect this. Does Brady give you the LeBron vibes, or do you see it from more of a football lens of someone who came before him?
I'll say, well, one, my favorite sport is ball. I live and breathe ball. Two, I'll say Brady has the Jordan vibes. I'm not a LeBron fan. I can't lie to you. The reason why I say the Jordan vibes, because he's a fighter. He's a fighter. He doesn't have all the attributes that you would have normally to be the great. You know what I mean? And I say that because LeBron has those attributes, those physical attributes that he should be doing what he's doing. You know, so I'll say he's more of the Kobe and the Jordan for me. But he's definitely,
Kobe and Jordan.
yeah, he's definitely him. I would say that because his competitive nature and his competitive attitude is, I love that. I do love that about him.
Even though you were defensive tackle, I'm sure offense, they saw each other in the locker room and in different outings. What were your interactions, if any, with Tom Brady?
He was a good guy. He always said what's up. He always said hi. When we got on the field, we gave it to him. Can't even lie to you about that. And he'd curse us out. He'd get mad. Like we would always go back and forth when we were on the field. So that's why I said, like, I really did love his competitive attitude because it didn't matter who he was. He was ready for it.
So Tom Brady was a shit talker, whether it was team meetings or in the practice. It wasn't just on game day.
Nah, definitely during practice. I say during practice when we on the field. When we on the field, you get him riled up, he gonna get at you. He gonna come for you.
I need a funny story.
With Tom, I say something interesting what really woke me up where I was just like, oh damn, Bill and Tom really hold each other to the same standard was after we lost on Monday night, I guess, against the Chiefs at the Chiefs. We got excuse my language, our ass kicked that game. We came in that Monday, came in that Tuesday for team meeting. My bad, that we had that team meeting when Monday. We had that team meeting Monday, came in, and he tore the first person he went after was Tom, and everybody was blown back because I think this was like the third game of the season, and everybody was blown back, and it really woke us up, and we wound up winning the championship that year, and it was just like, yeah, like everybody has to work hard, no matter who you are. If you have a bad game, you're gonna get corrected, and you're gonna be corrected the way you should be corrected. And honestly, I was in awe, like, dang, I didn't know Bill would actually get on him like that, like cursing at him, really getting into him. I thought Tom was gonna wind up saying something at his stature, but he didn't. He just took it under the chin like a man.
I like that. And it kind of goes to your original point that Belichick is not who the media may have made people think he was. And on the Tom side, you guys, you saw another version of it, or you guys saw an internal version of it that wasn't necessarily meant for the world to see.
Right. Yep, exactly. And he did it well. He did it the way he wanted to do it.
We're in the month of June. May was Mental Health Awareness Month. You started a nonprofit to kind of target those things. Can you tell me more about what you're doing in the community?
Our mission is to reach athletes and entertainers who live a certain life where their family can't really relate to it, where these athletes and entertainers have so much trauma and so much triggering responses that they don't know how to really handle it. They either go spiraling down, their mental health winds up declining, and they don't know how to reach out. So, and I'm speaking from experience because I was addicted to opioids throughout my career because I've had 16 surgeries, and I was also going through a lot of insecurities based on my childhood because of my success and where I came from. and I never really wanted people to look at me any differently, which I took the wrong way, and I didn't work on it the correct way. So we are trying. I didn't work on it the correct way until I left the league, where I wound up going to get help. I took myself and placed myself in the facility for about 30 days and realized I have a lot of childhood trauma, and I grew up in the projects. So we're trying to attack those narratives and allow athletes, active athletes now, to have resources to reach out to help in a safe place, along with engaging with their family so their family understands what they're going through when they do have these outbursts. Because we're going to have them. We're just in the nature of, extreme. Everything that we have to do is an extreme moment. So allowing their family to relate to that and understand how to maneuver around it, as well as the athlete to understand how to communicate with the family members and stop all this negativity and all this suicidal that's going on in our community, along with I say retired athletes in their transition into a new, a new them, a new me.
Yeah, to me, I would imagine that's psychological. You're not getting the same attention that you once were from the fans because you may not be recognizable at the same time, or you are, but you're not on the field or the court anymore. But also, the money may be different. There's a lot of factors that go into that. From your perspective, what do you think is the blueprint for a player who's retired to make that transition if they have some of those traumas?
I say definitely networking while you're in the league. Trying putting yourself around people who are successful in this matter. I'll say more athletes rather than just businessmen, because some businessmen don't understand what that transition is like and how to get through that transition. Me, myself, and I, like I said, I wasn't a person who loved football, so immediately I wanted to get out and try a bunch of different things. I have 13 hours in the air flying planes. I've started a fintech edutech app, where financial literacy. Now, like I said, I'm in the real estate. I have a construction business. I also do fix and flips. So, and I've been out the league for about what, 4 years going on now. But that took time for me to figure it out. And fortunately, when you play in the league and you have 3 or more years, you're able to get a disability that lasts for life. So you have the room to explore if you have the right people in your corner to, you know, contain your finances and set up a plan and a goal for you. So I'll definitely say getting with the right people in your corner and planning out a goal, because that's the one thing that we like to have is a plan and a schedule, but we're used to them giving it to us. So learning how to do yourself and learning how to, do things for yourself and having those people around you.
You played or you signed with the Rams briefly. Uh, you did not participate in Super Bowl 53 when the Rams lost to the Patriots. How bad did you want to get on that field and play against your former team?
I definitely wanted to play because last time we played against them, we lost. And when I say the Rams, we played against the Patriots. At the Patriots, we lost, and it wasn't a. That was my last year, so it was. I definitely wanted to get on that field and play with them.
I believe it. I believe it. You, after your career, also transitioned into the construction business.
Yeah.
You go from tackling offensive players to stacking bricks legally.
Yeah.
Legally. Tell me about that.
Facts. It was an interesting process. So I moved to Atlanta with because of my now wife. And I wound up getting my real estate license. And from there, I always wanted to do fix and flips, but I had trust issues. So I never really got into it, just because everybody always wanted your money and my knowledge. That's what it really was. I didn't have knowledge on the construction side. I didn't have knowledge on the fix and flip. So I wound up meeting a good friend now. His name is Thomas Shed. Um, and he has a construction company where he's been doing full remodels, renovations, new builds, along with a water restoration remediation company, mold water restoration remediation company, along with a glass company. He's done that for 7 years. So I told him, I'm like, yo, I want to learn, so I'm gonna come work for you. He didn't believe me, so I worked for him as an employee. Um, every day for 6 months. So I learned physically how to build the house from the ground up, learn how to do renovations. I never touched, I'm from New York, so I'm not gonna lie. I never put up a curtain rod. You know what I mean? So it was a great experience for me that allowed me to now invest into the company and now become a part owner in that company, which is Shed's Construction.
I like it. I like it. I'm curious. In today's day and age, and particularly as there is no football on TV currently, but basketball has been prevailing over the last couple months. You've seen a lot of interlay between NFL players saying NBA guys couldn't play in the NFL and NBA guys who question NFL's players' ability to get on the court. Which transition is easier, a football player playing basketball or a basketball player playing football?
Definitely in football playing basketball, just because basketball players, I'm not gonna lie, they they it's like a don't touch me sport nowadays. Even though football's getting there, but you got to have something up under you to be able to play some football. Basketball players, they flop. You flop in the league, man. It's a whole different pressure. It's a whole different it's a whole different speed playing basketball and playing football and having 300 plus pound men hitting up on you at full speed. Basketball players can't handle none of that. I'm sorry.
Sure. God rest the dead. If Kobe Bryant was still in his prime, do you think he'd have been able to make that transition to NFL? And if so, what position could you see Kobe playing?
RIP 24. Nah, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't think he
Okay.
could. I don't. I don't think he'll be able to play. I don't see where he could play football. What position he could play football.
What about LeBron?
LeBron can play, but do I think he would be effective? No. Do I think automatically he'd get up that first good hit when he really feel what a man feel like hitting him? I think he's up at it. I don't think he's gonna be able to take that. But yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it.
What about prime Shaq?
Now Shaq, I think back in the day, Shaq would have been a hell of a nose if he put some weight on. That's just a nose that he just attack and just stay there. He fill gaps. That's about it.
I could
The
see
only
that.
honestly, the only person where I can see that can play ball that would have been able to play ball if he would have kept his weight um, during those times. I ain't gonna lie, I think it was Iverson.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I definitely believe that it was definitely a kid. He could have been nice.
I mean, he played in high school.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, he was nice. He was nice in high school.
Mhm, mhm. Brother, this conversation has been enlightening, has been fulfilling, and has been a balance of just your journey from Curtis High School in Staten Island to, ultimately making it to the NFL and sticking with it and then transitioning. I really appreciate your time discussing mental health, entrepreneurship, and more.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
Of course. I'll see you soon.
Of course, yeah, we definitely gonna link up. We definitely gonna link
Come on now.
up.